Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, Black Clover is getting really, really good. Uh, we got past all the filler, and we're pretty much just hopping right into the overall battle of the knights to become the royal guards, to pretty much be the front line, or at least the pursuers to go after the Midnight Sun, and seemingly the captains don't need to compete because they're probably always going to be the ones on the front line. So we have a good idea that they'll be there, regardless of the fact. So we'll see how all that turns out. But from what I can tell, there's some people on here that just seem like fodder, but it seems like there's too many like high level characters in this competition to really let like I want to say 6 or 7 of them not really go. But at the same time, the Midnight's the Midnight, I was called Midnight. They have been shown to attack the Clover Kingdom, so I think that might be a safety precaution in the overall grand scheme of things, because if they were to attack the Clover Kingdom while they send out every single captain and every single vice captain and all the people who are pretty much the ones who are going to take care of the most of the fights, you would look pretty dumb to leave yourself that open for attacks. So I don't think that's why the captains aren't competing. I just think the captains automatically, just like how there's a girl who's really good at healing on our squad, on Asa squad. There's probably a captain that can heal a lot better than other. Oh my god, I'm gonna miss again. Wow, this special is so trash. Um, but other than that, I think in a good way we will get to see a lot of random magic. And by random, I mean, even though some people have the same type, like wind, water, fire, earth, all these different magics, but whenever one person in particular gets these things, it feels like there's a whole nuance to it that they bring, like their own style is incorporated in it very smoothly throughout the show. And I mean that by and there is also powers that we haven't seen, like everybody, or you don't expect it to be something that someone has, and that's the metal. There's a guy who uses like straight up metal and can create um you know straight up iron spikes out of his magics and stuff like that. So that's weird to me, and it's not even like metal. He's a metal type. That sounds really rare. So when it comes down to stuff like that, I feel like this is a brilliant place to just kind of like, if you don't want a character to necessarily make it far, you can still at least give him a cool moment right now. So I think that's kind of what's happening. I could be wrong, but when I see stuff like this, it makes me feel like they could just really get a lot of characters that wouldn't have got much screen time, and if they did get screen time, they probably would have just got bodied by a villain to kind of make a point. So uh, I don't see them doing that now, just because it would um, make the characters look a little bit better for them to get the upper hand on some characters that have no idea what they're going to be dealing with. So with that being said, Asta is being teamed up with this new guy that I've been talking about when I saw him first on the end credit song. This guy in this all wrapped up like attire, his mouth is wrapped up. And of course, the first thing I said was, he looks pretty cool. And guess the first thing Asta says, he looks pretty cool. He's like, you bandaged, wrapped up freak, like he's actually jealous of how this guy looks. And I'm like, yeah, man, he looks pretty dope compared to a lot of you guys. So it's funny to me that Asta is kind of like he is also the person that the audience kind of is as well. He just enjoys the cool things and probably doesn't even know he shouldn't be enjoying them. Oh my god, I didn't mean to kill you, Piccolo, you're trash. And I think that's one of the fun things about his character is Asta's going to speak his mind, and his mind was telling him, compliment him on how cool he looks. And he did it, and that's just how it goes with him. So pretty much we see him, the guy all wrapped up. He goes against a vice captain and pretty much allows the attack to go off. The thing that happens right after is the vice captain's just defeated. He's beaten, bruised, and bloody. And, we don't necessarily get a full explanation as to how the guy did it, but it kind of insinuated that he maybe reflected it because it was called Ice Slicer, right? And the man was sliced and diced up. So either he has some way to repel the attacks back, maybe, or it's just the fact that when this was happening, he did the attack and the man dodges, or he was just okay. Here's the weird thing too: is the vice captain doesn't know there's an old lady standing behind him because this guy is like freaking 6'2" in the anime world, which there's some characters in here that are like 3'5". The little girl who makes all the food and stuff, she's like so dang short. So to see him looking like the tallest character, like he literally is Wizard King height. He like puts his arm on his shoulder and kind of like rests on it like an arm stand, or something. So that just gave me the indication that he's definitely up there in height. Definitely probably a little bit taller than and way good amount of taller than he's probably like Yami's height, actually, right around Yami's height. But he absolutely destroys a vice captain, and then he comes into this new fight, and we see in the previews that he is just being trash. He's literally on Asta's team, sleeping right now. And I got a feeling that the reason why he disrespects Asta is, for one thing, he wanted to embarrass Magic Knights, so sure, Asta is one of those knights, but at the same time he can embarrass Asta by not doing anything and letting him lose. Even though he'll lose as well, he doesn't really care about the overall grand scheme of things, I bet. Not to mention the fact that he's just showing up for the first time here, and I just got a feeling that regardless of what Asta does, he's not gonna care to listen to him until he sees what he can do on his own. And so we're gonna pretty much get a 3-on-2 because this man's just not gonna really care to even put any effort forward. And I think when he does, Asta's gonna have a good understanding that this man is just leap years ahead of some people around there, and it might be even better if he doesn't help, because he would probably have destroyed the couple of weak people that they're about to go against. Because the people they're going against in the first round, sorry to say, but you guys are definitely fodder just to see, or just to show what Asta can do, or just to show us what this guy can do at the very last second if he does choose to help. So very, very interesting start of this little thing with this man destroying a wizard. Not to mention the guy is a vice captain, so I think he had the opportunity to come to this thing and actually help and or not practice, but become one of these knights, and he's completely disqualified now because of what happened. But to be fair, we have seen the Wizard King pose as many old ladies, so it would not surprise me if that was actually the Wizard King, and that's why he kind of the guy shows up, puts his arm around him, tells him the story, and the king's like, did the old lady come out fine? And he's like, oh, she's good. It seemed like an inside joke for both of them in a weird sense. So I don't know if anyone else caught that, but whenever, sure, this guy did show up late, but the Wizard King has a lot better abilities to get him places. I'm not gonna say he could teleport, but he could stop time and never be late for his events, you know? So you'll never know he's stopping time or that he stopped time to do something because it's on his end. And I don't know. I thought that was pretty clever for them. So we'll see how this all turns out. I didn't get to use my special because Krapika is stupid. But alright, my anime people. I just can't wait to see Black Clover finally show us what I've been waiting for, and that's some more hype battles, some new abilities, and Asta growing to a point to where him saying I'm going to be Wizard King, a lot of people back him up when he says it, and we already have the full Black Bulls support practically, so that's an amazing start already. We are only pushing the boundaries even further with this episode now, with him pretty much going to fight against people from every type of Magic Knight groups. It's more or less going to be easier though because they don't have the correct teammates. I feel like if you never work together with somebody, that could hurt you in the long term. So we'll see how this all pans out. So with that, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case it is when you're watching this. Let me know if Black Clover is definitely getting hyped for you, or you don't watch Black Clover and you're just showing up for your boy. Thank you, thank you. But I will try to get some content out to you guys later today. So if you do have the notification bell on, you will have something in your box later. So make sure you guys are waiting for that, and I'll definitely try to get that out to you guys tonight. So, alright, later.